Tell me, what did you think of the event that took place here today?
Today's event was one of the highlights of my life insofar as I've been telling the story for 9 years. I even told my story to Kathimerini Magazine some years ago. My story has been discussed in the Irish Parliament, in the Irish Senate, in the Austrian Parliament, but yet nobody has been held accountable, nor have I been given any assistance. The central bank, our Kentryki Trapeza, is well aware of what happened. I walked in broad daylight and told them that I was breaking the law. I didn't know, as I said inside, that my chairman was a friend of the Prime Minister. Here am I, 9 years later, with no employment and nothing left of my possessions for the simple crime of obeying the law.
So you think that events like this, that have MEPs listening to stories of whistleblowers,
yes,
could somehow help and they could be positive towards stories like yours?
Definitely. I think people need to realize that literally people have gotten away with murder. When you hear about the suicide rates in places like Greece, when you hear about the fact that something like 10% of Greek population goes to bed starving, this didn't happen because of an earthquake. It happened because people in key positions did not do their job, either by neglect or by criminal conduct, deliberate conduct. And nobody has been held to account. Every bank in Greece has at least one risk manager. In some large retail banks, you might have 50 people working in risk. Who signed off those loans?
And since this event is happening at the European Parliament and you are here, and it is a great pleasure of ours that you're here.
Thank you.
What would be your message or request from the European Parliament and the MEPs if they could do something for you, not only specifically, but people like you, whistleblowers in general?
Well, I think for all of us, the most important thing is to live our lives with dignity. And the dignity has been taken away from millions of people throughout the European Union because they can barely feed their children. They can barely feed their children because other people have made billions and gotten away with it. And the people who allowed them to get away with it are the regulators and the politicians. In many countries, there have been public inquiries, parliamentary inquiries into the crimes of the banks. I believe you've had one in the Voulis in Syntagma. How many bankers have you got in prison?
So what do you think of the event that took place today here?
I think it was a very important event because we talked about the law which needs to be changed in respect of protection to the whistleblower. That's absolutely a key issue because if there is no protection for whistleblowers, then the information society needs will not be revealed. I mean, you're talking about tax evasion, tax fraud, terrorist financing, corruption, even money laundering, and even issues, for instance, in a hospital where doctors abuse their power or their work, they just go for the money. So the protection of a whistleblower is absolutely key to make society a better our society a better place.
And you are at the European Parliament today. You met a lot of MEPs. They were together with you at the panel and all of that. What do you ask as a whistleblower from the Euro Parliament in one phrase, if there was one demand?
I would demand that a whistleblower protection law is in place as soon as possible. As simple as that.
All right. And is there anything you want to add that I didn't ask you and you would like to say? If not, no,
yeah.
That's fine.
What I would like to say is there are countries who already have a whistleblower protection law in place which works. 3 weeks ago I was in Serbia and learned that their whistleblower protection law is effective because it was also supported by the Prime Minister of Serbia. Somehow I feel today what I've heard here and what I know from other European countries, because Serbia is not in the EU, in respect of whistleblower protection, we are in a third world country. Serbia is ahead of the game. It's incredible.
J'ai deux questions. La première, c'est qu'est-ce que vous avez pensé de l'événement aujourd'hui, ici au Parlement européen?
C'est une très bonne chose de continuer à mettre la pression, à la fois sur la Commission européenne et sur les politiques au niveau national, que ce soit grec ou autre. Et c'est en faisant ce genre de conférences qu'on continue à mettre la pression, qu'on continue à parler des lanceurs d'alerte, à surtout parler de comment trouver des solutions pour les protéger.
Et vous, comme un lanceur d'alerte aussi, et quel est votre message pour le Parlement européen, comme vous êtes ici?
Il est très simple. Parler, c'est bien. Agir, c'est mieux. Moi, j'ai agi, et vous?
Merci bien. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose que vous voulez dire que je ne vais pas demander?
Si au Parlement européen ou tous les citoyens grecs ou européens veulent m'aider, veulent me soutenir, ils peuvent aller sur alpraf.com, alpraf.com en anglais. Chacun peut faire un don, chacun peut signer la pétition et pour continuer le combat.
Merci bien.